customer sort of decide on something and come and buy it, you sort of lead the customer to a buying decision, right? So discovery is more like giving them multiple options, giving them multiple points of view, giving them feedback from other customers, giving them maybe pricing choices, all kinds of things that you can give to a customer to make them sort of feel that they have explored all possible options before making a buying decision, right? And once you have the discover handled, you can go a deeper level beyond that and go to the explore level, right? So again, the explore level is very inherently visible in most online purchase sites these days, right? So you can go into Amazon and sort of read parts of a book. You can go into Flipkart and look up the complete specification of the product you're about to buy. Right? You can go into maybe some of the popular furniture retail stores or whatever, and look at the details of colors available or the materials that are being used and all of that. So the explore option is basically allowing you to go deeper. In Zomato, we saw that they have pictures of the insides of a restaurant. They have menu items. They have facilities available. Do you have parking? Do you have sort of capability to rent a hall inside the restaurant or whatever, right? So it allows you to explore different options within the set that you are trying to decide on. And obviously discover and explore, with the wealth of information that they give you, they actually make the buying decision much more sort of, it's a sort of automated, it is kind of leading you blindfold to your buying decision. Instead of you kind of deciding right away, you kind of explore and go into a journey of exploration, and then you come to a choice that you make. And then that doesn't end, the key is that doesn't end the cycle, right? And by the way, if you see, this is a continuous loop. It doesn't end anywhere. So the key here is, after the buying decision has been made, how do you use the customer to become your, become a sort of model, or become a model customer for you, which you can then showcase to other customers and get more business? Or how do you make the customer sort of brand ambassador for your product? How do you get feedback from the customer so that you can improve the product? How do you use the customer's own buying history to get closer to the customer and give him or her more choices and more buying decisions, right? So that's where the engage cycle comes in, where you get feedback data from the customer, where you get sort of real-time updates from the customer, where you feedback updates and messages from other customers to this customer, and you kind of mash up all of that stuff to make sure that the customer is fully engaged. They feel that they are part of your product life cycle. They feel that the product is catering to exactly what they need. They feel that all their friends are buying the same product. They feel that they are part of an elite social circle who's buying this product. So all of that comes out of the engagement model, right? So interestingly, I've so far not really talked about technology at all, and the reason I have done that is because, like I said, technology is nothing but a way to kind of transform the business needs into sort of product reality or a technical reality, right? So what we've tried to do so far is we have to try to understand the business model behind this whole customer lifecycle thing, and how each of these areas of the lifecycle has a different kind of interaction with the customer, right? So now that's the area we need to focus on to get to the technical side things, right? So if you now look at this circle again, you will realize and we'll go on and talk a little more deeper about that in the next 2 slides. But if you think about it, you will realize that the discover phase needs different capabilities from a product compared to the buy phase, right? The explore phase needs a slightly different set of capabilities than the engage phase. The engage, discover, and explore may be very sort of closely knit. They may need similar capabilities, but the buy part definitely needs a lot more or a set of things that engage, discover, and explore may not need. So if we go back to the Amazon models, right, the buy phase actually not only needs a transactional system where you can kind of order for a book and it would kind of record your order and process the order, but you also need the capability to be interacting with your banks and credit card providers to be able to do the monetary part of the transaction. More importantly, you need a complete integration with a supply chain and a logistics model behind the scenes, right? So the buy part needs to integrate and work with all of these kind of areas, which the engage, discover, and explore do not need to do, right? But interestingly, what you get in engage and explore would be a result of what you're doing in buy, because if your logistics fails, or if your product is not doing a good job of integrating with the credit card provider and either rejecting transactions or delaying transactions or something like that, then obviously the engage part will not work well, because people will give you negative comments. You'll start getting lower votes and all that. So they need different capabilities, but all of them have to work together in order to keep your customer happy, right? So that's the theme I want you to keep in mind, that even though these parts of the engagement lifecycle need different capabilities, they all have to finally work together to give you a customer experience that is great or out of the world or differentiated or whatever you want to call it. And that's the only way you will build better products and you will build products for the future. So now coming back to the topic of the discussion, why did I say that this is necessary for products of the future? What we are seeing today, and that's what I was kind of also explaining, that we are seeing a complete different way of engagement between customers and products, right? And unless you are ahead of this game and you know that you are able to cover all these aspects of an engagement model and your products are built for that, you are going to fall behind competition, you are going to become outdated. And remember, there is a whole set of young customers in the pipeline who are coming on and who are starting to use all these modern technologies, mobile capabilities and all that, and becoming a large chunk of the customer base. And if you cannot give them what they need in these different phases of the engagement cycle, then the product has very little chance of succeeding in the future. A bank, for example, may have done well by just providing a transactional system that used to work from a brick and mortar branch, but today that's not going to make them the best bank in the next 10 years. So let's use that, let's kind of move on to talking about what would it mean for a banking product to be able to provide all these areas, right? And slowly lead into the question of technology. So if we start with the discover phase, right? What does a banking product there need today to be able to be future-proof, to be able to kind of help customers discover products in the banking industry? And by the way, like I said, I'm using banking as an example, but you would find that you can fit this into any industry or product that you can think of. It is the same concept. There is no difference. So a bank, now today a bank, or going forward or for the future, a bank definitely needs social media integration to be able to sort of either push discovery to social media channels or use social media channels